My 4-year-old nephew constantly wants to murder living things that he doesn't like, even in nonviolent video games or cartoons.
Mm,
What should I do? I'm not sure if the 4-year-old nephew is being raised by this person.
okay.
Or what that situation is. But I guess, maybe we'll just approach it from that. If this 4-year-old nephew is being raised by this person and has this kind of tendency to want to murder things that he doesn't like,
Mhm.
what would you say? Obviously, you're a mom, and you have kids of your own. So, what would you say? What are your concerns as a counselor too?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I have a 4-year-old and their emotional kind of internal world comes out through play
Mm,
and in imagination. And they, obviously at that age don't have a lot of the language to kind of process feelings, process how they're interpreting the world outside of them. And so they do with what they have and kind of process through play. And so, I would just be curious as to what this little boy's life experience has been so far and who's been in his life. Um, I would definitely check into seeing a child therapist or a child psychologist.
yeah, I feel
Um,
like that's not talked about very much. Can you talk
mhm.
a little bit about what that is? What does that look like?
Yeah, well, you know, therapists who specialize in children, they they kind of know how to sit with them and kind of get into their world through these avenues of play and imagination, and in a non-threatening way, and in a really helpful way. And so that could be really good, really helpful, and bring some insight, understanding, and direction into what is going on with this little boy and what he needs. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, child psychology and child counseling, it's definitely different because like you said, like they have a totally different language, totally different way of processing information. And it takes so much skill. I feel like to work with kids and kind of have a totally different like
mhm,
conversation with them. But I mean, how helpful that is, right? To be able to do that even from a young age for kids to have that.
mhm. Right, and this is a crucial age. I mean, 0 to 5 is a very important age. The brain is interpreting the world and developing beliefs about the world and beliefs about themselves, and determining, how they can trust others. And so it's a really crucial, important time. And if you feel concerned, then I definitely would not hesitate to just, give this little boy some resources to, yeah, to grow and be set up for success.
For sure. So opposite, side of this, say that this 4-year-old nephew isn't being raised by this person, how do you approach that with his parents, right? Like, is there a conversation
Mhm.
that you have with them? Do you just stay out of it and not cause any problems?
Yeah. Well, that's tough because, his parents are the ones that are going to make the decisions for him. And so it's a hard place to be if they wouldn't be on the same page as you. And if you would want something different than what they would want. But, it wouldn't hurt too to just approach, just have a conversation in a um, collaborative, kind of non-threatening, non-accusing way, um, and in a helpful way, and just offer to be a resource, and just offer kind of your care for this little boy. Communicate your love and care for the little boy, and um, for his family, and approach it that way, and um, hope for the best.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that you just touched on, that it doesn't come from a place of judgment toward the little boy, toward his parents.
Mhm.
It comes from a place of really loving him and really wanting to see him thrive as a kid and as an adult,
Mhm.
and really getting him to where he should be. So, yeah, I love that. I think that that is a great way to approach that with that specific situation and others. When you
Mm.
love someone and you have to have that conversation where you're like, maybe this should be different, like things like that. But it always comes from like just a place of love and gentleness, right? So I love that. Amazing.